Hey everybody, welcome into this episode of Critical Development, where this week I will be, yet again, looking at 3 maps that were submitted to me over on my Discord channel and, critiquing them and then making one in my own style. The usual routine with these critical developments. And this week I've got 3 actually really well-made maps from some talented creators who've been hanging out over there on the Discord. If you want to get in on that and submit your own maps, be sure to click the link in the description. Alright, now let's jump right into it. Our first map here is from Kalia, I'm assuming that that's how you pronounce that name, and it's a lovely little castle map. Right off the bat, I'm going to say this. I absolutely adore the layout of this map. It really feels quite dense, but I definitely can tell that there's plenty of room for the player to run around. And on top of that, it just sort of feels like a lived-in location. You've got all the different houses, you've got that church there, what looks like a market stall, and then you've got this area up here that is a nice little touch. This little, training yard barracks area. I think it's really good. This area is by far the most open part of the map, and at first my knee-jerk reaction was to comment about the fact that that's so open compared to the rest. But if you throw in some events of people training in archery or practicing fighting, overall, it'll look great. I'm a little concerned about that just sort of blank area up at the top where there's no trees or anything like that. It's just plain old grass tiles. I recognize that most players, depending on where they're standing, aren't going to be able to see that, but you never know. It kind of looks like the player is going to be able to access the top of that castle area, and from there they'll definitely be able to see it. So it might be worth just throwing some trees down or something just to kind of make it look a little bit better. Other than that though, the map is spectacular, and really I've got not a lot of problems with it other than some small little nitpicky things that really aren't worth pointing out. So wonderful work there, Kalia. Again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Next up is this map from Toast RPG Time. Straight to the point with that name. It's an awesome little mountainside mining camp sort of area. I like the details of the little farm that they've got down there in the corner, the pile of wood over there where they've been sort of splitting things up. It really looks pretty good. My only major concern with this kind of comes down to the tools down there in the corner sitting by the tracks. I get that your options with the default RPG Maker tileset doesn't necessarily have better choices for that sort of thing, but if you could just modify those tiles just a little bit, make them look like they're actually sticking in the ground instead of just sitting there, I think it would just look pretty good. One thing that definitely just jumped out at me right now while recording this is the grave. That is a fantastic piece of environmental storytelling. Even if that's something that nobody in this map mentions, no NPCs say anything about losing a buddy or anything like that, the fact that that is there tells you so much about the people who are occupying this area and about the sort of hardships that they've gone through. It's a little dense, there's not a lot of places to go, and there are some tiny little things to be fixed like those tiles, but overall, really well done. So good job there, Toast RPG Time. And finally we come to our last map of the day, which is from Wansung 2, which is a sort of traditional walled city. Overall, I really like the layout, and the use of the multi-leveled buildings just makes things really pop. My major gripes with this map really just come down to it's very by the book. There's not really anything about this that gives it any sort of visual identity of its own. It kind of just looks like every other town or city that you see in RPG Maker projects. Even using the default tileset, there is stuff that you can do to give it its own visual flair, to make things pop just a little bit more, to make it more memorable in your players' minds. Which is why that despite the fact that this is a fairly decent map and definitely functional, this is the one that I'm going to choose to remake in my own style. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Now, as you can see, looking at my map alongside Wansong 2's, you can definitely tell that some more thought has been put in to give my version of the map a little bit more identity. Just these small little details that make it more unique. It doesn't take a ton more work to add in these details, but it definitely will pay out dividends in terms of your players remembering the places that they go. So Wansong 2, as I said, your original map, perfectly serviceable, works exactly the way that it needs to, but it is definitely important to make spots that your players are going to be thinking back on later, and they're going to actually remember where they've gone. Overall though, all three maps extremely well done. The quality of the maps that I'm getting from you people who are hanging out on the Discord is just blowing my mind. And you can jump over there to the Discord and submit your own maps for the chance to have them shown here on Critical Development by clicking on the link down below. I am also, as of the recording of this video, working on getting together a Dungeons & Dragons group over on the Discord, so if you're interested in playing some primo D&D with yours truly, check out the link in the description and just jump on over there. Regardless of why you join the Discord, I can't wait to see you there. And if you like this video, but you've got some critiques of your own, or maybe you disagree with me, just leave your thoughts down in the comments below. And while you're down there, consider subscribing to the channel for more awesome videos just like this. Also, real quick shout out to my buddy Esh, who just released the 50th episode of Fiction Addiction. You can go check that out by clicking on one of the links here on the end card. And who knows, maybe somebody that you recognize might just, cameo in it. You never know. Might be surprised. Thanks for watching, guys and gals, and have a good one.